guys, welcome back to Simple Cooking. I'm your host Alex, and tonight we're going to be making spaghetti. This sauce is a homemade sauce that my mom taught me when I was younger. I've changed it over the years to make it more my own, but I mean it's still really good. I don't know anybody who doesn't like it. So what you're going to need for this are 2 cans of tomato sauce. I like the Great Value brand because it's not salty like some of the others. The disadvantages is a little bit thinner. You're also going to need a green bell pepper. I've got some cut up here, and I'll show you how we go ahead and seed that out a little bit later. You're going to want, and I know you think I'm crazy, but you are going to want some soy sauce. You need oregano, ground sage, rosemary, thyme. Garlic salt is going to be for our garlic toast a little later on. And minced garlic, I do usually mince my own, but I don't have a garlic crush, so I have to buy it pre-made. You're also going to want a pound of burger and a box of spaghetti noodles. I've already gone ahead and gotten my burger and my water for my spaghetti started up. My burger here, as you can see, is almost finished. So I'm actually going to go ahead and strain that now. And you want to make sure you strain the fat out into something. I have a dirty pan underneath mine. We don't want that liquid fat going down the drain. It's just not good for it. Let it sit in the pan after it strains out and harden. And then you can toss it out the window or the trash or whatever, but don't let that go down your drain. Yeah, look at all that. That's gross. Okay. It's okay if your burger's still got a little pink on it. It'll finish cooking off as the sauce is created. So we're going to go ahead and add our cans of sauce. I actually usually make 2 of these plus an additional 15-ounce can, which is your average soup can size. Today I'm not doing that because I have to learn to cook for fewer people. But the spaghetti, the sauce lasts, I mean, there's a lot here. It'll last a while if you like leftovers, or it's really great for dinner guests when you've got a lot of mouths to feed, or even if you just have a big family and they all like spaghetti. It's great for all of that. And in the end, it's actually cheaper than buying a pre-made sauce because, yeah, you gotta buy all the spices and stuff for it, but they last a while and you use them over and over and over instead of buying that new sauce every single time. But I guess it also depends on how much you make spaghetti or cook from scratch or use other seasonings. So that's all mixed in with our burger. First thing we're going to go ahead and add today is our green pepper. And I do have it cut up already. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to core these out. You want to make sure that you're keeping the core and the seeds. See, I got some seeds there. Keep that out of the pasta. It's really, all I use this for is for some flavoring. It doesn't make it spicy. It just adds a little something to it. So once you chop it in half, go ahead and just slice it up. Like that. Also, make sure when you're all done, because you are handling the seeds in the inside, and the seeds are the absolute worst part. Make sure you wash your hands. You don't want your hands unwashed with stuff touching your face or your eyes. I learned that from experience when I was little. I've never done it again. It's not something you recover from quickly, I promise. You just want to make sure that you're getting all of the seeds off. The lighter inside section of the core is spicier than the outer end. If you want to use that to spice up your sauce, that's fine. To each their own as far as that goes. Just cut it all out. Nice and plain. When you cut up a fresh one for this, you only need 1 or 2 even smaller pieces like this is all you need because it's fresh, it's strong, and you don't have to worry about it. All the rest I throw into a baggie and freeze for future use. And of those, I'll normally use 3 of them just because they are frozen. They've probably lost a lot of their zing, but it does in the end all taste the same. So we got it all cut up. I'm going to toss in a few of the smaller pieces. Go with those two, and we'll set the rest aside to save for later. Wash my hands. Alright. Mix those in. I like to try and spread them out onto either side of the pan or the pot so that they can just simmer in there. So the next thing that we go ahead and add is our oregano. And I like to call my sauce an oregano sauce. I use so much oregano, it's ridiculous. But I think that's kind of the secret behind mine, is that there's so much in there. And by the time I'm done and I mix it in, it starts looking like Christmas in there. You just really want to cover it and get a ton in there. Believe me when I say that by the time this is done, it won't even be overwhelming, because there's so many other flavors that we add in. And chances are I will probably actually add in more a little bit later. Okay, so we have our oregano. Next up is our sage. I always add all of the spices and stuff first. You don't need as much sage as you do oregano. You can do, you know, crushed sage or leaves or whatever. I like powdered. Thyme and rosemary are a little bit different. Thyme kind of looks like a collection of random tiny bits and pieces you'd find on the ground in a forest, kind of near a pine tree or something. Just a little bit. A few shakes here and there. Thyme really adds a, it's kind of funny, but that I described it this way, but it adds a Christmassy scent to it. And there I go, splashing all around. The thyme and the sage really complement each other, and you'll be able to taste that in the sauce. The rosemary comes off looking like pine needles, like that. You can put them in a little grinder, you know, and grind them up if you like. I like to just kind of crush them a little bit with my fingers. Like that. I like my rosemary looking like that. And then you don't need a lot of it. Mix that all in. For those of you who are new to cooking, don't be fooled. Rosemary does not smell like pine needles. Okay. If you're using fresh garlic and you're crushing the cloves, I usually use either one really big clove or just two medium to small ones. With this, I would just go with a simple teaspoon. It equals out to about the same. Mixes in about the same. I don't to me, the spaghetti sauce just ain't right without a little more garlic. Or a little bit of garlic, I should say. Over there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add the soy sauce. I'm going to be very adamant about this. You only need a couple of drops. Too much, it's going to be really salty, and you're really going to be able to taste the soy. The soy is there and to help bring out the flavors and the other stuff and add just a hint of salt, which is actually, it's not something that regular salt can really do for this sauce. I've tried it.
Question?
Yes.
How did you discover that? Or how did you came up with that?
I actually started using the soy sauce a long time ago when I was still trying to remember what my mom's recipe was. And I think hers called for Worcestershire, which I do put in mine also, just a drop or two. But you can't even taste it, so I stopped using it. But the soy, I started using it and I realized what it did. I think it counteracts more with the bell pepper than anything else. I have substituted just a little bit of salt, regular salt, for the soy sauce, and it's not the same.
Right.
Yep. You just need, I mean, you watch. That was actually too much. I won't lie. That was actually too much. But
it looks like it is.
Said you do not need a lot of the soy sauce. I don't like this bottle. In, you know, the more average shape bottles, we kind of got to shake this stuff to get it out. 1 or 2 shakes, a couple of drops, that's it. Give this baby a taste, make sure she's got everything she needs. Alright, so we're going to turn this down. Just let it sit. And we're going to wait for our spaghetti water to finish boiling. And once we got our spaghetti in, we'll go ahead and show you how to make the garlic toast. Alright, so now, as you can see, our pot is at a rolling boil. We're going to go ahead and add our spaghetti in. Just like this. There's a couple different types of spaghetti noodles. There's thin spaghetti, which I use. There's your regular spaghetti. It will specifically say whether it's thin spaghetti or not. And then there's angel hair spaghetti, which is even thinner. Smaller noodles. You just want to push your noodles in and down, and they'll fall into a circle. You want to try and get them into the water completely as fast as possible. Otherwise, you risk the noodles burning against the edge of the pot, and you don't want that because it does change its taste. You're going to taste burnt. It's gross. Okay, so now my noodles are in. It's going to be 8 to 9 minutes. We're trying to get them al dente, just like we discussed with the baked ziti in the last edition of this. So, the toast is done. We're going to go ahead and butter it. Getting it all. And you slightly sprinkle the garlic salt on. You don't need a lot. Too much and it's overly garlicky, and that's just not a fun process to deal with then. Alright, and that's our garlic toast. The only proper way to check if a noodle is ready is to taste it. But I can tell by how stiff these are that this is not what you want your noodles to look like. This is not done. So this is more like what you want your noodles to look like. They are finished. They're still kind of firm, not overly cooked. me just go ahead and turn our oven, our stove, and our sauce here. And we can dish right up. Spaghetti, I don't know if any of you guys watching or anyone who reads Simple Cooking knows, but spaghetti is my absolute favorite. I love it. I could live off it half the time I do. The meat likes to settle on the bottom, so if you like more burger or meat in your sauce, make sure you're scooping from way down low. And then, I mean, Parmesan is the most common thing to put on there. In my family, we like to use sandwich cheese. It's so yummy. It definitely changes the taste of it a lot more. It's really good. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Parmesan covered spaghetti. Usually I will put it on leftovers. I don't know, I just think leftover spaghetti tastes different and better. And it's the best when it's like obscenely drowned in Parmesan. And I do mean obscenely drowned. So there's our spaghetti. Your sauce will melt your cheese. And you guys go ahead, use your toast to stop everything up and dig right in. So this concludes our Simple Cooking for tonight. We do have a new Twitter. Go ahead and follow us at Simple Cooking 2 on Twitter. The blog updates the Twitter every time there's a new post, plus we'll be keeping it updated daily on and off. So that's all for now. Thanks everybody.